Axis and Allies, 1942 2nd edition, USA, or American Strategy. So America is pretty spread out across the board, because they're on two halves of it. They have to go for both Japan and Germany throughout the game. So a couple things. I'll go ahead and start off with the Pacific side. You might want to build up your fleet as well as trying to get troops over here to take over perhaps islands and all that, because Japan's going to be building up their fleet, and then everyone's just building up their fleet here in the Pacific. Island hopping is a good strategy. Like in the war itself, you can island hop, perhaps going for more important islands, maybe come down here towards Australia and taking over some of those, or maybe even the money islands later on in the game is good to do. Jumping over here to the European side, you can decide with the UK if you're going to go for Africa first, or if you're going to hold up, then you'll build up your navy and all that, and you can go for perhaps France or any of these coastal territories instead of going for Africa. But in my opinion, either the UK needs to go for it, or the United States needs to go for it, and that can be collabed upon strategic bombing raiding, or bombing raids, I should say. I've been saying raiding this entire time, but it's bombing raids. You can eventually bring it over here and try to prevent Germany from building as many units, as well as Japan. If you get a bomber and say take over some of these closer islands, then that will be a little more doable on Japan to attack. Now moving on to China. China is supported by the US in this one. So you might want to kind of retreat with China. So if Japan takes over those two territories, that one up there and that one, you still have all that, you can kind of retreat that up there, which prevents two territories from being just taken over real quick, rather than just this one, even though it's not even considered, in my opinion. So that just basically kind of prevents Japan from coming up into taking those Russian territories first off. If Japan doesn't go for China in the first round, they're probably going for America. I just want to keep that in mind, so you might want to go for them quickly. But Japan would have to devote most, if not all, of its resources towards America if it's doing that first off. That fighter there is good for defense. I suggested you can bring it down in India. You can even, if China looks like this, the way you set it up, you can even go after China, move that in, move units in, take over China, even take over Shanghai in maybe the first couple of rounds for that. But the United States, most importantly, does not want to spend all its IPCs on one or the other. It actually wants to divide it. So unlike Germany, where it should only really focus on one opponent, the United States should focus on either opponent, or both opponents during the same round. Just because if you only focus on Japan, Germany will get stronger and unbeatable. And if you only focus on Germany, likewise with Japan. That's about it. If you have any questions, again, feel free to leave them inside the comments below. I can do a video or answer them in the comments directly. If you have any suggestions for any more series or strategies I should do, I think this will be the last one of this mini series, I guess. Well, I might do more, actually. I might add on some collaboration strategy. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.